Worse than everything. I'll tell you what, I grew up in America, and I know before the lawyers took over, where if a kid wanted to maim himself, we had a lot of ways of maiming ourselves. Remember BB gun fights? Remember those? What do you shoot beer cans for about an hour, and one kid goes, you know, we can shoot each other. And everybody in our neighborhood had them CO2 gas-powered pistols. My mother gets me a Daisy 1 pump. Familiar with that? Guys know what I'm talking about. Went about 6 feet with an arc. Hit a sparrow in the head once, didn't even wake the bird up. My buddies had them CO2, those things go through concrete. My Daisy wouldn't penetrate Cool Whip. And my dad calls up, wanted to buy my son a BB gun. That's what he said, can I get you boys BB guns? I said, yeah, and pick his little brother up a set of glass eyes. My son goes, I won't shoot my brother. I said, if you didn't shoot your brother, I'd have you in for a psychiatric evaluation. I shot my sister so many times, she told her husband that her cellulite was BB wounds for me. And he believed her, so who's the moron in this conversation? What you did to your sister's thighs. It's no secret, man. Your parents pray long and hard that your children drive you insane. My father calls me up. I can get him drums? What do you want to know? Can I get him drums? Yeah, pick his brothers up a set of bagpipes. That way my wife and I can just river dance our way to the loony bin. My mother doesn't even hide it anymore. I'll call her in the middle of the afternoon. Mom, these kids are driving me nuts. Oh, thank you, Jesus. My dad calls me up late at night just to laugh at me. Tell me again how your boys washed the car with your Armani jacket. That's too bad. Tell me how your boys love hitting rocks with your new set of irons. That's too bad. Because they like the sparks. Tell me how your boys have lost every tool you've ever purchased. No, son, the doctor just told me 2 more grandkids, I get off of Prozac altogether. He's a sick, warped man. Psychologists say you marry one of your parents. Give you 4 little youngsters something to think about. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say I married my father. I say that far away from my wife. They don't get along. She has his temper. She has my wife has a temper, and I mean a temper. I'm not talking irritability and sarcasm. That's what attracted me to her. After 20 years, see, you got to understand, it's how you argue determines how long you stay married. It's about communicating, understand how your spouse communicates. It took me 2 years of marriage to figure out my wife will never tell me to do anything around our home. She wants me to do something, she'll ask me a question. From the question, I'm supposed to stand there and figure out what it is she wants me to do. Simple example, say I leave a pair of my underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor, which frosts my wife. It's her word, not mine. Someone will cut her off on the highway. Oh, that just frosts me. If I'm not frosting her, I'm driving her up a wall. Kids will come in, where's Mom? She's up the wall with frostbite, that's all I know. You won't believe what put her there, son. It was that pair of underwear in the middle of the bedroom floor. You were looking at the most powerful pair of underwear known to mankind. They not only defy gravity, but they can change temperatures. And they're mine. So I leave my drawers in the middle of the room, which, by the way, is not unusual, because when I was a single man, I learned how to walk out of my underwear on the way to the shower. You get to the end, you hop right out of them babies. Right? And you leave them in the middle of the room for a good reason. You always have your underwear inventory at your fingertips. If there's 8 on the floor, must be 4 in the drawer. It's a good system. Worked for me for years. Then I got married and found out my system frosts my wife. So I leave my drawers in the middle of the room. Would my wife come to me and say to me, pick those up? 3 words. Pick those up. Did she say them? No, because that would be simple, direct, and right to the point. And at that moment, I, her husband, would know exactly what she wants from me. I'd be able to process the information, make a rational decision as to whether or not I could deliver the request. At that moment, we would be communicating at the highest human level, the way God intended it, through language. My wife will look at me, look at my underwear, and then ask me, are those yours? Sure hope they are, otherwise I got a few questions of my own. What do you want? That's the only question a man has, isn't it, guys? That's it. What do you want? What do you want? Quit talking in code and tell me what you want. If I have to tell you what I want, then it doesn't mean a whole lot to me now, does it? Many a night I've walked around my home with a coat hanger strapped to my skull. Boys are going, what are you doing, Dad? I'm trying to divine what your mother wants. I'm telling you, there's a signal in this home somewhere. Some things haven't changed, and you have to learn to accept. Closet vision. My wife has had closet vision for the entire 20 years of our marriage. She does nothing to try to get rid of it. Maybe some of you understand this. We'll have a date to go out. She goes through the same ritual every time. She gets in the shower, she gets out of the shower. She wraps herself in a towel, she stands in front of her mirror, does her hair, does her makeup. Then she goes to her closet, and she goes blind for an hour. I'm telling you, Jeff, there's nothing to wear in here. Every now and then she'll come out of the closet holding something. What do you think of that? I think that's beautiful. Oh, you're just saying that. You're right, you caught me again. Just wanted to get to the restaurant before they changed management one more time. It's amazing how quick her vision comes back once she's dressed. Because that's when she'll look over at me and go, ooh, you're not wearing those clothes out, are you? These are my practice clothes. Only had them on for the last hour and a half. Went out of style while I was waiting for you to get dressed.